So, Tony, how are you?
I'm surviving, man.
Surviving?
I'm surviving.
No,
I could be better, but I could be worse.
Yeah, no, always God willing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always a good thing.
God
always
is
a good thing to wake
man.
up. Yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you originally from?
I'm from northeast Baltimore, up around the Hollandtown area. Around pretty much around like the Fayette Street, Orleans Street area.
Okay.
I raised, Patterson Park, if you're anywhere familiar with that area. That's where I'm from. But I pretty much hang out all through downtown, east and west, I mean, I'm not really stuck at one place. I'm kind of all over. I kind of moved around a lot too as the years went on.
Gotcha. And your current situation is homeless, correct? Yeah,
I'm homeless. My family situation's really messed up, so I really don't have nowhere to stay as far as a family member, to go to. Like my mom passed away from cancer when I was young. My dad's an addict, plus he's old, he has dementia. He suffered from addiction and alcoholism for years. A lot of liver problems and stuff like that. My aunts and uncles are pretty much dying off, I haven't talked to any of them in years. So don't have a whole lot of support. So yeah, right now I'm just pretty much sleeping wherever I can, man. Here and there, everywhere, you know. In the park, could be a church step, it could be anywhere, Anywhere I feel safe in that environment, pretty much.
Yeah. How long you been homeless for?
Off and on for the past 20 years. 20 years.
Consecutive, or were there times you got clean and kind of straightened up? Or
times, I'm gonna say it's been really bad last 15, but I've been using for 20 years, and in that 20 years, between hospitals, jails, prisons, different institutions, being homeless on the streets, just here and there, everywhere, little amounts of clean time here and there, nothing substantial, no, nothing really good, nothing that I'm really proud of it to this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's your drug of choice?
Heroin.
Heroin?
Absolutely.
Shooting it?
Shooting and sniffing it.
Yeah.
You gotta be really careful with the dope today with shooting it.
Yeah. Do you worry about that, like, getting a bad batch and overdosing, or does that not really cross your mind at all?
It's funny you ask that. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I have bad days, man. I have some mental health disorders. I might wake up and be really depressed one day and just really not give a shit, and just want the best thing. And there's other days where I'm very cautious and, I do find little things to go for. And I'll be like, I would be concerned about that. But it's killing 80-90% of dope out here is killing people. Yeah.
What do you typically do for money to get the drugs?
I panhandle, man. I'm not one of them bossy kind of guys. I just ask for change here and there. Dope's really cheap, and in Baltimore you can get dope $1 a pill.
Yeah.
$3 a pill.
How long will that keep you high for?
Depending on the quality of the dope, a couple hours. If it's real good, when I mean good, I mean potent. Not good, but potent. I'm gonna say a good 6 to 12 hours sometimes. It just depends. It depends on the batch.
What have you went to prison for?
Theft. Theft, mostly theft. One drug charge, I did a year for. Rest of them is just theft. Nothing really major, you know what I mean? Just it was a lot of repeated offenses of theft. I stopped the whole theft thing back in like 2010, man, The last 13 years, I haven't been in prison in 13 years, you know what I mean?
How crazy does it get out here?
How crazy does it get out here?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, here, it's funny you said right here. Okay, so we're in front of City Hall. The block is right behind us. The block is like the strip club nation of Baltimore, right? It's a lot smaller than it used to be, but like it's crazy. It gets real crazy around here. I mean, you name it, it happens around.
You had mentioned somebody set your friend on fire.
Now see, there's been a lot of random acts on homeless people out here, unfortunately. A good friend of mine, right back here, there's a bridge called 83. 83 Bridge. He was in a sleeping bag. He was sleeping. Somebody came up, dumped a bunch of lighter fluid on him or gas or whatever they use. They dumped a bunch of shit on him and set him on fire, man. And he died. Young guy too. He's only 32 years old. His mom put a little shrine. I know his mom. It was really sad. I had a friend of mine that got stabbed right around the corner here by Mercy Hospital. It's funny. Like all this is right around here. This is like I guess this is like the heart of the homelessness right here.
For the people that don't know what Baltimore's like and the how the inner city workings are, at this level, how would you describe it?
Dangerous, very dangerous, very unpredictable. You got to constantly watch your back.
What do you think is the motive for people just to walk by somebody and light them on fire?
I mean, you have gangs of kids running around here, man, that just
doing crazy
don't
shit.
give a shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ruthless, man. It's been all over the news. I mean, that's a huge problem, man. And it's not any isolated bunch, and it's random acts of violence, and and it is for no motive because these guys don't have nothing to steal from. It's not like it was a robbery going wrong or anything like that. This guy's he's homeless. He might have $3 in his pocket, and if he's lucky, and change. So,
yeah,
it sucks, man.
Yeah.
I've had my head bashed in with a brick. You know what I mean? 7 years ago, I got a scar all the way across here on my eye. Going and getting drugs.
Was that a robbery?
That was a robbery. Yeah.
So they're basically robbing you for $5.
That time it was for like 20. I was cutting through the park. Boom! All I remember is seeing a light, and I was out.
Yeah.
I woke up in the hospital. They had lights over me. My whole head was split open. I had to get like 27 stitches all the way down here. It was crazy, man. I've had my ribs kicked in. Usually if you keep your mind your own business, you won't have a lot of problems. And I mind my own business. You know what I mean? I try to stay to myself. I don't cause problems. I don't steal from people. I'm not a crud ball. I don't owe anybody anything. So usually I'm okay for the most part. I just gotta watch out for the random shit.
Yeah.
What
do you feel like all this has done to you mentally?
I think it's taken a toll. Well, because I have PTSD anyway from my childhood. I do have a lot of underlying mental health issues that are not being addressed. I'm not on the proper mental health medication. I'm not getting therapy. All the right things for my depression and my anxiety and my PTSD, nightmares and whatever, all that, I'm not being treated for it. So when I use drugs, I'm self-medicating. That's me medicating myself. Now, it sounds like an excuse, right? And it is. Because I want to get high too, honestly. You know what I mean? Just keeping it 100 with you. I don't try to find a whole lot of, bullshit excuses for my using.
Do you feel like there's enough resources out here, or do you think that people will just say there's not enough resources because they don't really utilize what's out here?
There's definitely not enough resources out here. If you said to me, if you came up to me and said, look, man, I got a bunch of dope. I want to get high, and I want a safe place to go. I want to go to a harm reduction center, just so we both could be safe. We'd have to walk 3 fucking miles. Walk.
Yeah.
And that's one. Oh, and they're closed today, by the way, and tomorrow. So we could be safe Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But we're unsafe the rest of the time. So I guess that little bit, as long as that's there, some might sleep safe at night, but not me. I call bullshit. I think it should be a lot more.
Yeah. When you envision your life in 5-10 years from now, in a perfect world, what would it look like?
I think in the end I will win.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get clean.
I think you will too.
I think I know how the recovery process works. I know I'm down right now, but I know the key to fighting mental health issues and addictions to never give up, right? And I fight this with conviction. And regardless of how many times I fall, I'll never give up. I will keep trying.
Yeah.
If I get up now and do good and fall again, I'm still going to get up again.
Yeah, of course.
So. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get clean, get my life together, or I'm going to die trying. That's the bottom line.
Does it get lonely out here?
It gets super lonely out here, man. Absolutely. All human beings, want to be around other people.
Sure. Yeah.
I depend on people for survival.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if I don't have people, I don't survive. So of course.
What do you do to cope with that when nobody else is around or you can't socialize like you want to?
Sometimes I just deal with it. I suck it up. There is nothing to do. Nothing takes away human loneliness but love and compassion. If you have no one to love you and care for you, right, then there's nothing to fill that void.
What do you feel like the most important lesson you've learned in life is up to this point?
Follow instructions. You know what I'm saying? My way wasn't always the best way. I was always the stubborn one. I always thought that I knew everything. But I think the key to being a smart person is to know you don't know everything.
Be open to learning?
Yes. An intelligent person knows he knows nothing because there's so much I don't know and there's so much I could have known if I would have followed simple instructions and directions.
Yeah. If you could leave a message for, anybody, but in particular, children, teenagers, etc., who may see this, if you could give, a bit of advice, what would it be?
I think my biggest advice to them would be it's not worth it. And I know that sounds really shallow, but what I mean by that, if you picture in your mind like a scale, right? And this is like drugs and fun, right? And this is life, right? If you put this over life, right? If you indulge in this and don't take care of your life, right? Really fast, it's going to be all about that, and it's going to go really low. And when I mean low, you're going to go so low, right? That what you can imagine in your mind now, it's 1,000 times worse than that. And take it from me, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No,
those are good words. Before we wrap it up, is there anything you want to say? Any message you want to give to people or people you love? That
my message is, if there's anybody out there that wants to donate anything for the homeless, don't be limited to giving to one space. A lot of places get popular than others for the hot donation spots. So what happens when only one place gets the donations, that means only one area people know about, and then that means a lot of people go without. Try to spread it out a little bit. Do some research.
Do you have any places you recommend?
I recommend Our Daily Bread is a good one. I'm trying to give you some don't get a lot of donations. The Baltimore Rescue Mission don't get much. The Helping Up Mission gets everything. They get the Ravens, they get the Orioles, they get everything.
Yeah.
All right. So give them guys a little love. And just West Side Shelter. I don't know. I mean, Paul's Place. There's quite a Beans and Bread. There's quite a few of them around here that need help and support.
Okay. All right, cool, man. Well, Tony, I definitely appreciate you sharing your story.
Absolutely, man. I hope somebody learned something from it.